All right, good afternoon or morning or evening, wherever you may be, everyone. This is Lindsay Duff from Motivated Trader. I'm going to do things a little bit different than usual today. I have been recording myself trading. It was an hour long, and I actually traded a lot more than usual today. And I shut it down right as I took two losing trades, and then I had some more trades after it, and it's just, I don't care who you are, watching an hour of somebody trading and hearing them cough and smack and whatever else in the background is not interesting. So I figured we'd just give it a breakdown of what I was seeing, what I took, what I didn't take, the losses that I took, why I took them, and go through all that. I'm going to take a screenshot of this when I'm done. I'm going to put it on my Motivated Trader Facebook page. So if you want to check it out over there, you totally can. But let's talk a little bit about what happened here. First off, this was right as the morning was beginning. I'm not interested in taking trades right away, but what we had seen here beforehand is we'd seen some divergence. I can't stop using that. I'm so addicted to it. We'd seen some divergence here, but what's really going down is, let's look at this. Look how strong the MACDs, the MACDs on the 1597 are. Look at the position of all of the EMAs, and I'm going to make this one salmon over here so you can tell that is the 1597 EMA, and I'll be moving it along with it. Now, you can see ahead of time of what's going to happen, so let's not do that so we don't tease ourselves. We can just kind of go through this together. Sorry about the clock. All right, so I see our first trade as it's pulling down towards the 610 EMA. You have miles of strength between all of these EMAs. This divergence has broken over and over again. It's come down, it's pulled up, it made divergence, pulled down, pulled back up, broke that divergence back here once it started to close back above. And so this says, hey guys, we've got a strong trending market if it keeps breaking up like that. And we have no divergence present on our 1597 yet. So the first opportunity was the long from the mid-band area. If you miss that, some people may be looking for pullbacks to the 233, which happened in here. You may have been looking for a cross of an area and a pullback. These blue lines are all areas that I have marked from previous times. You can see each time that it hits some main areas. I just go back and look as I start my day of where there could be some holdups and draw some lines on there. Same thing in the MACDs. But let's get back to where we were. So, let me slide this back a little bit. So here we are with our first opportunity. It pushes and pushes and pushes forward. So it goes up pretty high at this point. I've marked a couple of different exit opportunities. First, when your MACDs start pushing to the downside on the 1597, and I don't know why they're showing up over here, but we'll just ignore those for the moment. And then it pushes down and comes back up and gives you another entry opportunity in the 610. So it gives you another entry opportunity. MACDs are leading higher than the last time we were at the zero line. You've had almost no MACD reaction here, but it does give you a little bit of, and let me just scoot this forward so we can make sure they're at the same spot. Here's our next entry right here. The MACDs on the 1597 are turning in that direction. So it does give you, I'm sorry, I had seen the push down. It does have a push down here, but everything starts to turn to the upside. And let me actually spread this out a little bit more. That's maybe why those are showing up. Yes. All right. So as it's continuing to the upside, we get up here, maybe. We get up here and we have another opportunity for an exit as it hits the next area and gives a bit of a reversal bar. After that time, what happens is it pulls back down. It gives another entry opportunity, which I actually took this one. I was like, hey, I've missed all of these entries. Guess what? I'm human. I wanted to be into this stuff. So I took the next entry. It did give me an exit. I ignored that exit. When it pulled down and it rolls back like this right here. Now, I got out pretty quickly once it started to pull back, realizing that I ignored my exit. It did pull back up and give me a better exit opportunity as it pulls back up into these areas. But then it also gives me another entry, which I do take. There's a roll at the zero line at this time. I took it right from the bottom, which was basically right around the same area that I got out earlier. But it pulls up, it comes back down. This is a strong trending market. As I wrote here earlier, I got a little hasty, and let's see, pull this down. I got a little early. There was too much space between the price and the EMA, and a pullback could be anticipated. So when I see all this happening, a lot of times I don't want to take these trades that are really far away from these EMAs that are showing a ton of strength to the upside. With all the distance between them, that is a ton of strength. So yeah, I was a little hasty on this one. I just wanted to be in after missing all these other trades. To be very honest with you. So I took the next entry and then I moved my risk along. Roll at the zero line with a strong trend up. It says take the trade from when it pulls back to the area and you begin to see the zero line rolling. You can see the zero line right below us, which you could actually see a little bit better before. And so also at this time, you have a slowdown in the MACDs on the 1597. You have a slowdown in the MACDs on the 610. Everything is pushing so hard to the upside. Take the trade. I did not exit at this point because at this point there wasn't just a lot of change yet. Everything was still kind of looking the same. It pulls back, and you've also made a pretty strong push to the upside. It pulls back. It gives you another entry opportunity if you wanted to take it from here, right in this area. And then it finally starts to die out. It gives me this little M look in the MACDs here, and at that point, I'm going to go ahead and take my exit. I took that exit, and you can see what's happening now. Now you've got some pretty major divergence on the 1597. Now, that does not tell me that it's going to change the entire trend in the market, but it says now that there's some divergence on the 1597, we may be seeing a bit of a pushback at this point. So what I did was I marked the next entry opportunity if you were really continuing with the strength of the market, which is right in this area. I marked it right here because that was right when I saw it, but it was really way too much strength already starting to come down on the 1597. It just kind of held out there for a minute. The MACDs, and something that I've been talking about a lot is when you see these prices all sitting around the same area and the MACDs just keep pushing lower, don't anticipate that long to continue. You need to at least anticipate a deeper pushback, which definitely happens. So I marked that. I did not take it. So what happens now is I start to get a little bit cocky, I guess you could say. And I'm like, okay, well, I pulled up. At this point, the reason I took the short was I was a little early on my calculations of because I watched this as it's counting down. So it looked like I was going to have a double bar possibility for a push down below the zero line, but it wasn't the right time. If I'm going to take it, I need to wait just a little bit longer for a slowdown in the MACDs. So I realized pretty quickly that I needed to be out of this trade. So it pulls down, pushes back up. I took a 2-tick loss. So then it comes back, and also when it pulls down, pulls back up. So the MACDs right here were in favor of that, but man, it started to show me some strength to the upside. So what does Miss Lindsay do after that? I missed the long from here because look at how the MACDs are leading much higher at this point. I missed the long here, and I go ahead and take a loss whenever it comes down. It's starting to give me that bit of a wedge, and I just wasn't paying attention to the wedge, which is absolutely fine. You know, you don't have to win them all. You don't have to be right on them all. What you have to do is be prepared for the next trade when it happens. I'll be honest with you, I saw this small bar right here, and I ignored it. And sometimes I do that. I'll ignore those signs, and what happens when I ignore them is I lose on my trade. So I saw my sign that said, this area is holding, your MACDs are leading lower, you got this small bar. I think I had just gotten onto a phone call with somebody, and I looked over and I let it stop me out. I mean, there was a lot of strength coming down in these MACDs at this point. This says forget it, get out of the trade. So at that point, it pulls back, and now, yes, it is definitely setting up for another opportunity for the short trade. This bar was pushing down pretty hard at that time. It was close to the end of the close. It did pull back up, which didn't make me feel super wonderful about it, but I did, and that's this trade right here, but I really like the way that the bars looked on the 1597. Let's also keep in mind that at this time, you're starting to get a crossover of the EMA from the 610 below the 1597 EMA, and the highest time frame is starting to pull up. So what I'd really like for a very comfortable shift change is I want to see the ability for these EMAs to push hard really down and to cross this next EMA so everything is in line. So that's what I'm watching as this is happening. And so it pushes down. I do get to minimize my risk. We have this opening up here. The EMA is coming to the upside. You can't really see it. There we go. EMA is coming to the upside here. And I am managing my stop as it goes along here, guys, because I do not want to get down to this area, which is where I'm anticipating the bounce to happen, and then get, have a hard turnaround. So it goes down, it touches my target, it did not take me out. So what I wanted to do was grab the best exit. It does have some major divergence down here. I don't anticipate this going any further than it is now. So I'm just waiting for the closest pullback I can get to get a better exit than letting this, than getting out in an area where it's pulling back. So it pulled back here. The bar started to close towards the top. I exited at that time and took 1.75 off of it. It does go down even further. Not anything I was anticipating at the moment, but hey, I was good with what I got there. So it would have hit my target. It would have taken me out. Whatever, I'm good. We could have moved risk along. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. This is what I did. So it pulls down pretty hard. Now, at this time, your 1597, the highest time frame EMA, has gone completely flat. It is not, everything is starting to open up to the downside. So your mindset is going, okay, we're looking for the shorts. Let's keep pushing down. But at this time, I'm looking right here going, look at what we've done so far. We've had a huge push to the upside. We've had a nice, decent push down. But look in the long run, our MACDs, our price is leading a heck of a lot higher. Yes, we are below everything. Am I going to trust the shorts? I'll have to see as I get there. So once it starts to set up for something for me, I'll start to look for that. The setup for me is going to have to be somewhere back around here. And I moved my, let's just take those off because they're going to be in the way when we get over there anyways. It's got to be somewhere, and then I don't want to see this guppy belly look to it whenever it gets up there, because then I know that no short is going to happen. All right, so it gives you a reversal bar at the area. A lot of you are waiting already with your target or with your entry right here, but guess what? Look at the smoking MACDs to the upside. They say forget about it. It is way too strong, and it keeps pushing up higher. So it gets to my next area. By now, I've got the guppy belly look. You know what the guppy belly look tells me? That this 610 EMA is going to be able to push up pretty easily and put everything back in line with the highest time frame EMA, with the 1597 EMA below, and the 610 EMA. There's a lot of strength pushing back to the upside. And so what happens is, let's see if I can move this up a little bit. Oh, I don't have my, okay, I do have my entries on there. So what happens is it pushes up, it comes back into the EMA here again, which some people may be thinking short at that time. But all these bars closing lower, lower, all around in this area, this is all the reaction we got out of the MACDs at that time. Let's even go back one bar. So it pulls up. It's really trying hard to push down at that point. That's all the MACDs did. This is what your MACDs did on the 1597. Nada. So they are just going strong into the upside. So now I am preparing for a long trade. I am preparing mentally for it. I was actually on a call during this one, and I was just ending up a call as I took this one, but I am ready and I am chomping at the bit to get into this trade. And so when it pulls back, let's see here, pulls back, everything is still not quite in line yet, right? And you look at this strength coming down, you're going, oh my goodness, there's strength coming down, but there's still no change really in this EMA on the 1597. You're getting back above the zero line with your MACDs on your 1597 and on your 610. Yeah, that's a strong push down. It's not ideal for taking a long right now. And so right now, I am not thinking about the short at all right here, simply because now look at the MACDs from the last major pivot. We're back above everything. Now I'm looking for what I call my W pattern. And I look for that W pattern in the MACDs, and I look for that W pattern in the price. So I get in my first entry when this bar pulls down really hard, okay? And this is all the reaction the MACD had. So I get in on the next bar as quickly as I can. I also do realize that this may give me a little bit more of a kickback because my EMAs have not lined up just yet. So it does pull down a little bit more. My risk at this time is right here. My EMA on my 1597 is starting to angle to the upside. And let me remove this so you can see that a little bit better. It's starting to angle to the upside. It flattened out here for a little bit. Now it's just starting, and it's slow, it's subtle, but it is starting to push back up. So not only do I get in on this entry, I see this nice little curve of the MACDs, and I see the start of the pop-up, and I'm like, not only am I in once, I am in again. I am so convinced that this is going up that I am ready for it. So I got in twice there, and also found out that one of my students, Glenn, got in and out on the same price that I did. That was pretty awesome to be able to look at that together in real time. And so now you can see the pinch of these EMAs. Now I'm anticipating a good push to the upside. I have 3 targets laid out. I really think that it went to, it went to my second target. I did not, I took it out early, and I'll show you what happened. My first target I had set right here. I had some Fibonacci extensions. This was 61% of the previous move, and I just set it the first one to take me out there, which was the exact same exit that Glenn had. Go Glenn! And then it pulls down, and right here, I'm thinking, okay, I'm waiting for this to push up. I'll move my target whenever it does. And it doesn't push up quite like I'd like. These bars are closing at the top. The MACDs are pushing strong up. I do anticipate this to go up. So here's my pullback. I'm like, all right, here's a good place where I'm going to be able to move my risk. So I move my risk up behind this area once it starts to push up. And my MACDs are leading a little bit lower on my 610, which isn't that big of a deal. But by this time, I'm starving. It's 11:30. I've been trading way longer than I normally trade. I get a little bit of divergence on the 610, and I go ahead with the reversal bar on the 1597, and I go ahead and I take my target, or take my trade. Does it go up and hit my second target? Absolutely it does. Is there ways I could have managed that to stay in it? Oh, you betcha I could have. But I didn't, and it's not a big deal. I could have moved my risk up here, another tick here, another tick here, and by then it would have hit my target. I don't think it ever went up to my next target. Nope. This is where we're at currently. So it may go up to that next one, it may not. We're getting a pretty decent push off in the 1597. Yeah, I mean, like I could see it still continuing up in here, but I'm not gonna, I'm done. I'm not gonna go for anything else. We've got a lot of strength coming up in the highest time frame EMA. These EMAs aren't really separating the way that I like to see them separate like they did back here. That is some massive, massive strength in the EMAs. Let's look at these kind of closer together. Now here it you can even see the angle straight to the upside. It's starting to happen here, but we just really want to see that whenever you're looking for a strong trending market, you want that massive strength between them and a nice decent push in the MACDs. And the MACDs are going to create more and more divergences. But right now it's just not super ideal for the long trade. But, you know, so that is what I did today. I had 7 trades with 2 contracts. I had 3 losses, which equaled 4.5 points, and I had 4 wins, which equaled 17.5 points. I had a total of 13 points, which is $650 with 2 contracts. Now with 10 contracts, it's quite a bit more. Now, if you also look that when I actually started trading was about 9 o'clock. I was watching this one not wholeheartedly. This one I was watching wholeheartedly. So I'll say I started right around 9 and I was done by 11:30. So that's 2.5 hours. So yeah, 2.5 hours, which is way longer than I normally spend with the market. But yeah, I'm not complaining. It was a good day. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Please subscribe to my channel. I would really love to have y'all around here. And, you know, be sure to hit me up on Facebook under Motivated Trader. You can find me on Instagram on A Motivated Mama. And you can go to my website also to motivatedmama.club. So hope you guys enjoy and have a great day.